Welcome back to Tales from the PowerAge, and tonight we are taking you all the way back to 1978 and killer albums from the PowerAge 1978. So if you've not watched this before, give us a sub, get involved in the comments, tell us what your top album was from 1978, and let me explain what we do. So if it's the first time you've watched it, we curate 12 of the best albums from 1978. We have a little vote in secret, and then Jam will announce the top 5 at the end of the show. And if you really like it, hit the thanks button. You can buy us a beer if you like. We'd love that if you did, because we do this off our own backs, right? Get the violins out. Anyway, let's get on to the first record, shall we? And we'll show you some of the vinyl we've got. So Whitesnake, Trouble. So their first album proper. They've been David Coverdale's North Winds, I think, Gav, hadn't there beforehand, Jam? Yeah. But there you go, on the nice EMI label.
There have been 2 solo albums, actually.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And he'd also done a Snakebite
EP.
Snakebite EP, and watch out for an EP episode soon. Anyway, look, this album's interesting, actually, because there are elements of this album that end up being the Whitesnake that you got to know in the early 80s. So Trouble is an example of that. That's a real classic Whitesnake tune, and really sets the tone where Whitesnake were going. But there are some other tunes on this that could be Bad Company. So think about Love to Keep You Warm. I mean, that could be a Bad Company tune. I mean, it's almost Bad Company. But a couple of the great tracks I love on this. Take Me With You, I love. The Time Is Right for Love. I love that tune. Trouble, as we've already mentioned. Belgian Tom's Hat Trick. I mean, what? I mean, that's a great song for a quiz. But that instrumental reminds me of, you remember the Star Wars band and the first ever band in the first ever Star Wars? I don't know what the planet was.
In the cantina.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they go into that bar. Well, it's just they could be playing that, couldn't they, in that bar? I think just like it. Good album. Any thoughts, boys?
Lie Down for me, best song on that album by a mile, and I do like the cover of Day Tripper as well. It's a really different cover.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Jam?
Lie Down. That's my fave off this album, but it was a little bit early for me, and I find the cover really interesting. That cover, in its less is more vibe. You know what I mean? It's very different to anything we see from Whitesnake going forward, in my opinion.
It appeared on a T-shirt recently, didn't it? Well, not recently, but when they talked, the classic T-shirt was
very different. But yeah.
Next up, we've got Black Sabbath, and this is a wholly different album than most people think or know of Black Sabbath. Some great tracks on it, and some of these deep cuts were played at the recent Back to the Beginning show. This is quite a nice copy. Let me show you here, and also got the old spaceship.
Vertigo
label, which is nice on Vertigo, but kicks off with a brilliant. And I know that's one of Jam's favorite songs, "Never Say Die." It's a great tune, and if you've never seen the Top of the Pops version of that, it's brilliant. Ozzy there clapping, smiling. Bill Ward just looks like a total hippie. It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Then we got Johnny Blade, great tune. But listen to my little theory on the next one, and it is a theory because I've not read into it. Junior's Eyes, that could be Duran Duran. I mean, if that didn't influence Andy Taylor, go back, listen to it with a different hat on, and you'll be going, Black Sabbath have just morphed into Duran Duran. It's just like it, in my mind. Anyway, a couple of other decent tunes. Hard Road, and of course Duran Duran were from Birmingham, so I'm sure Andy Taylor was heavily influenced by Sabbath, of course. Shockwave, and Over to You. Over to You, again, reminds me very much of, could be the James Gang, or could be anything around that sort of early, mid-70s. But this album's definitely got a bit of a West Coast feel. It's a little bit different. It's a bit more upbeat in terms of the way that the guitars are set up, or the guitar's set up. I like it. I think it's good, but a lot of deep cuts on this album, and it is very different. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
I mean, I'd struggle. You've got a lot of hats. I don't have a Duran Duran hat. However, The Never Say Die. I love that song. I really do love it. It should have been a Bond theme, surely.
Ooh.
I don't know if there's been a Bond. There's been different ones, but I don't think there's been one called Never Say Die. And yeah, 100%. I'd love to see Ozzy representing the Bond franchise. But yeah, that's my thing from this album, which makes me think if I like it so much, is it a typical Ozzy Black Sabbath song? I don't know. I really like it.
Do you know what?
No, it's not at all.
I think this album
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's more like an Ozzy album, this album, than a Black Sabbath album.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, basically.
Yeah, much more like an Ozzy album. Okay, cool. That was Black Sabbath. Next, we've got a debut album by the mighty, going to the West Coast now, with West Coast of the States, Van Halen, and their debut, which is absolutely brilliant. Still my favourite song. I know we have arguments about this occasionally, but Running with the Devil, my favourite tune. I absolutely love it. You've got the amazing Eruption, and I know we've covered this on another pod of classic albums, but some other great tunes. Jamie's Crying, On Fire, and Talking About Love. What a tune that is. Feel Your Love Tonight, which I absolutely love. Even a bit of out-of-tune guitar in that, which makes it sound even better in a weird way.
Yeah, he plays a bum note, yeah.
It's brilliant, love it. And then, of course, the ever funny Ice Cream Man, which is great. Obviously, there was a cover on there as well. Anyone tell us what the cover was? Of course, you really got me.
You really got.
It's a super album, and if you haven't got this, if you haven't heard it, this is your essential Van Halen album. If you never buy any other Van Halen album, this is the one you need to get, in my opinion.
And the other cover off this album is Ice Cream Man. That's covered.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a cover as well. Yeah.
So you really got me out. Yeah. Both immense.
Like you say, we've covered it in great detail in another pod, but it's a statement, isn't it? It's such a statement coming out of this as your debut album, and all the new sounds and all the drumming's fabulous, the guitar's fabulous. No one sang as silly as that before, but yeah, I mean, it's all about Eddie, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, really good stuff. So,
well, you'd never heard a guitar sound like it for a start in 1978. My two favourite songs, Dill hasn't mentioned. I'm the One and Atomic Punk, my two favourite songs off that album. But there isn't a bad song on it, is there, really? On
the classic album pod that we did, we do a vote off. So if you are into this album, go and have a look at that. We do a vote off. It has all of our top 5 songs on it, and then it has a top 5 for Tales from the PowerAge. But in my notes, when I was reviewing this, because I need to review it, I just it was outstanding. It's timeless. It's way ahead of its time, in my opinion. But the cover, the songs, the musicians, and the production are faultless. And that's all. It's like everything. I'm not going to listen to the track because everything about this album is immense. So yeah,
best backing vocals ever. Almost sound like the Beach Boys, don't they? In the
yes, yeah,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Okay, so let's move from hard rock metal over to a little bit softer stuff. Over to you, Jack.
Thank you very much indeed. So yeah, Paul Stanley solo album. This is my favourite of the solo albums. I think everyone has their favourite, and this is the one that I bought at the time. This is like the first one I bought. Open up with Tonight You Belong to Me. It's hard to hear where Kiss ends and Paul Stanley starts. For me, it was the biggest merge. And a lot of my favourite songs followed that vein. So Wouldn't You Like to Know Me and Love in Chains being my favourites on this one. Hold Me, Touch Me. That was one I visited a lot. Times of heartbreak in the 80s. Because in the 80s, there was a lot of heartbreak, wasn't there? I believe. So I used to listen to that a lot. Now, not so much. It's a bit of a ballad, so I don't really like it. What are your thoughts, boys, on Paul Stanley's offering?
I was never really that into it at the time, but listening to it ready for this pod, I really like it.
Yeah.
It's really easy to listen to, isn't it? And it's really Kiss.
Yeah. I think it was it set them up for Dynasty and Mars, didn't it? This is the album. It's almost like it's like a trilogy, isn't it?
Direction he's going in. Yeah. But I think it's a really great album. Really good songs, mixed in London as well.
Yeah, my favourite as well, Jam, of the 4 Paul Stanleys.
Yeah, but as you said, that's the other thing. It seamlessly sends them on their way to the next Kiss albums. I find that really interesting that's what he brought to the show. But yeah, that's my first choice.
Okay, cool.
Solid choice.
My second pick. Jazz by Queen. Seventh album, and this for me, I'm not a Queen aficionado like Gav down the bottom there, but this is one of their most diverse albums, especially for them to call it jazz. It's like, where are they coming from? It's got the hit singles plenty. It's got Fat Bottom Girls, Bicycle Race. They were recording and they were doing lots of work around Switzerland and around that area. And this is off the back of the Tour de France coming near to them. And there's like, oh, bicycles. And Don't Stop Me Now, which is an absolute smash. But it also features a couple of decent ballads. Jealousy and In Only 7 Days are both brilliant. And you won't hear me saying things like that very often. Let's get back into space here. Dead on Time is so heavy and brilliant. And If You Can't Beat 'Em is easily my favourite song on the album, and probably it's in my top 5 favourite Queen songs of all time. The songs are written by these utter legends, and they've done the thing where they all take it in turns of writing songs. It's presented and produced beautifully. This is in my top 2 favourite Queen albums. The other one we've done a podcast on, a classic album of News of the World. The last song on this, if you haven't heard it before, give it a listen. It's a reprise. It's more of that jazz, and it plays clips of these songs that are on the album. That doesn't happen. That happens if you go to musical theatre and there's like an encore and they'll bring different songs back. It doesn't usually happen in a rock album, and I think you'll find it interesting. Anyone that's listened to this and hasn't listened to this album, if you don't do anything more, listen to the last track on it, and I think you'll quite enjoy it.
And that would have been quite hard to do as well back in the day, because they would have been cutting tapes up.
Yeah,
rather than like these days, it'd be dead easy to do. You just click and drag. That would have, proper remix like that of existing material. Yeah, brilliant. I love this album. I don't love the cover very much, but obviously there was a little treat for young boys inside, which we enjoyed at the time.
As a poster.
It's a very good poster.
And also the inner gatefold is absolutely brilliant, of the studio in Switzerland with all the equipment, and just great, just fantasy stuff. Having opportunity to record in a place like that, is everyone's dream. Certainly was mine. But yeah, it's such a great album. They were definitely on a roll. Love it.
That's jazz from Queen. Next one. This one isn't here for the other boys. Don't Look Back, Boston. It's the follow-up. So this is the actual album. It's the follow-up to the ridiculously immense 1976 epic, Boston's first album, debut. It's more of the same as the first album, but a lot of people, believe it or not, the first album sold absolute bucket loads. This, not so much. But it's more of the same. Sing-along party choruses. There's awesome driving guitars, and the vocals are second to none. They're just brilliant. I really love this album. Every track is a belter. Boston at the time, for me, they were the gateway. They were the gateway band for all that was the American heartbeat. It had your Survivor, REO Speedwagon, Journey, but Boston, for me, were the ones that prepped me ready for all those bands. And they took me on a journey. Styx, loads of bands that took me on a journey for the rest of my life in that softer side of the AOR, whatever you wanted to call it, that I bloody loved. And so many of them had great guitarists. Be it the dude in REO Speedwagon was brilliant. Frankie Sullivan, who's one of my favourite guitarists ever out of Survivor, who's superb. But Boston sort of opened it up for me and put me in that vein. So I couldn't not include their second album. Pretty sure you boys wouldn't have probably heard this album before, but any of you given it a listen, or any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I've got it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair play. Okay.
It doesn't take me back. I don't replay it like I do the first album.
Yeah.
Because it's so similar, but then the songs are probably a bit stronger on the first album.
Yeah.
But it is just a great follow up.
Yeah.
Took me years to realize it was a guitar on the front, the same as the first album.
Yeah.
It was a spaceship, but anyway, obviously you can't argue with Tom's musicianship and his production and all that stuff, but
certainly can't argue with the vocals. It's totally agree with that.
Incredible. No, it's good stuff.
So next we have Gaps, and it's classic.
Jam's got the inner cover out there. It's the first album they did from 1978. They did another one, which we may or may not talk about shortly. Stained Class. It's the introduction of Mr. Les Binks on drums, and he stayed for the follow-up and the live album the year after. And he was absolutely brilliant. Starts with Exciter, which is one of the greatest songs you'll ever start an album with. And it's got some stone cold classics. You've got Beyond the Realms of Death on here, obviously, which is a ballad, which Jam probably does like, actually, although it does get very heavy towards the end. You can't really call it a ballad by the time it's finished. There's Savage. Invaders, one of my favourite songs off this album. White Heat, Red Hot. Yeah, it's a fantastic record. Great production on it. Guitar sounding great. Both KK and Glenn doing some really, really good stuff on this, especially in the title track, Stained Class, which is probably one of the best tracks they've ever done, in my opinion.
The whole package looks great, though, doesn't it? The cover's
First
amazing.
time we see that logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got my hoodie.
Here we go.
Yeah, I've got a hoodie as well.
Yeah, we
Lovely.
both got that, didn't we? It's a great hoodie with that on the back. So
Not in this weather, but
no.
yeah, I love the art direction style they were going in as well, making it more modern looking, and so just the addition of Les Binks was just the final touch. I mean, obviously the album before had Simon Phillips, who was completely brilliant, and the boys in the band had the realization that that's what they needed, a bit more fire in the engine room, and boy did they make a great choice.
And it hasn't aged, does it, that cover at all? The artwork, brilliant.
No, it's superb. It's really,
That's
really
great.
good.
That's a great thing with art sometimes, isn't it? Real proper art. You're like, yeah. For me, Beyond the Realms of Death, Gap's touched it already. It's unsurpassed. It's superb. It's the ultimate for me. And again, it's that good a record. We did a podcast on this one. You can find on the classic.
I think didn't Les actually write the lyrics to that, Gav?
No, he wrote the open string bit at the beginning.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, he gets a co-write with Rob on that one.
Brilliant.
I hope they paid him for that, so they didn't pay him for anything else.
Don't we know it? Anyway, on to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, back to one of my favourite bands when I was growing up. Long Live Rock and Roll by the Mighty Rainbow. Follow up to Rising. So yeah, this is the first time we get introduced to Mr. Bob Daisley and David Stone on keyboards before they get unceremoniously dropped by Mr. Blackmore for the next record. It's got three of the greatest songs that Rainbow have ever produced in the title track, which they still play on all rock stations all around the world to this day. Gates of Babylon, which is an absolutely brilliant song. Kill the King, again, absolutely amazing track. And the rest of them aren't just fillers. You've got LA Connection, which is good. Side 2 is good. The Shed. The only song I don't really like on this is Rainbow Eyes at the end, which is a ballad, but it's a ballad with just no other music. There's no drumming in it. It's just not for me, that song. But there you go. But apart from that, it's a really, really strong record. And Blackmore's doing his stuff, and he's absolutely amazing.
I totally love Rainbow Eyes.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. And famously stole the image
from
Rush.
Yeah.
That ain't their crowd.
Interesting the way that the direction that Rainbow and Richard Blackmore and David Coverdale were taking. There were two slightly different directions, weren't they? In terms of, it's still classic rock, right? But they were certainly going in a slightly different way. You think of the lyrics and the types of stuff that they were singing.
Yeah, it's totally different. Poles apart.
Yeah. Coverdale was all wine, women, and song, and this was more sort of mystic.
Well, Whitesnake were going in the bluesy direction, and Blackmore was going in the symphonic direction.
Lady of the Lake,
heavier direction.
Gates of Babylon.
Yeah, that's Mr. Dio, isn't it?
If you had to put a date on this alongside the contemporaries we're talking about tonight, you'd say this was older, wouldn't you?
Mm.
Yeah.
The cover's old, old parchment and drawing, and you'd say this was early 70s, the way it looks and the way it sounds to a degree.
That was going to be my comment. The way it feels as a record, how it feels. I don't know this record very well. I had to listen to it for this pod. I'm glad when you said there were three songs that were awesome gaps. I was hoping you'd say the one that I really loved, which is "Kill the King." That's awesome, really good. But "Long Live Rock and Roll," the song, as you say, it's played over and over. There's certain songs that I just never get bored of. That one I have, but perhaps because I'm not as into it as I could be. But "Kill the King," I loved. So I didn't think it's a bad album, but it did feel very early 70s. Yeah,
I think it's
interesting.
Kill the King. They debuted in the previous year on the live album.
That's
Obviously,
right.
the crowd had never heard it before, and it opens the live album on stage. And it's a slightly different version. They do a different beginning, which is absolutely brilliant on the live album. And they change it for the recorded version, but still a great song.
Cool. It's Rainbow. What's up next?
The actual best Kiss solo album. Well, it's my favourite anyway. We can't say it's the best, can we? So there's 2 for this and 2 for Paul Stanley. That's good. At least that's quite good. It's got the best cover. I prefer the blue to the pinky purple that light as Paul's got around him. Ace just looks amazing there, doesn't he? It's absolutely brilliant.
He really does.
And this record starts off with "Rip It Out," which is a fantastic tune, absolutely brilliant. And I've said this to Gav a couple of days ago. I reckon there's 4 or 5 songs on this album which could have gone on any Kiss album. And my favourites being "Rip It Out," "What's on Your Mind," "New York Groove's" a great track, which is a cover of a "Hello" track by Russ Ballard back in '74, I think it was. Russ Ballard gets out there, doesn't he? Writes some songs, made some money. Love the little key changes in it. Yeah, brilliant song. Ending up with "Fractured Mirror," which is an instrumental, which is superb. It's got Anton Fig on drums, who later went on to play on Unmasked and Dynasty, although nobody knew that until quite a few years later, but a lot of people could tell. Let's just leave it at that. But yeah, great album.
And also he managed to secure the producer that everybody loved at the time.
Eddie Kramer, yeah.
So that must have annoyed the others, surely. But yeah, brilliant. It's co-produced with Ace as well. But
Ace plays most of the instruments on this album as well. I think there's only two tracks he doesn't play bass on, but obviously he doesn't play drums, but he plays the rest of it, and he just does a great job. And his singing's really good on this record as well, I think.
Commercial success as well, wasn't it? This
it sold the most out of all of them, yeah, by quite a way, because this was the only one that had a viable single, New York Groove, and they even when they reformed, they did that in the set. New York Groove in the sets, give Ace a chance to revel in it.
I mean, that's quite something.
Yeah, that is something. For
Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley to actually give that up. I was amazed. But so in '79 and '80 they played that whilst touring, right? 1979 and 1980. But it was massive. It drove the album sales for that one because it was the hit. It was the big one. So I don't think that's what Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons would have probably been imagining when they said, right, let's get our solo done.
No, probably not.
They were radioactive going, no, it's just a great.
Ace won't get his act together enough to do it. We haven't got to worry about him.
Yeah.
How wrong.
And that cover, honestly, though, that is stunning, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I love all I love the whole concept with the solo albums.
I do love them all.
Okay, excellent. So that's Gaps' Menage a Trois. Now we're moving on to Gav.
Oh, what a surprise. A complete cliche, but what did you expect? Yeah, so Magnum, Kingdom of Madness. Now, this is a strange one because this isn't the cover that I first got when I ordered it from my little local record shop. I got the Mad King cover. So everyone thinks this is just an American cover, but when I ordered it, you used to be able to go and actually order a record they didn't have in the shop, and you waited 2 weeks and then it arrived. This is the version.
Them's were the days.
Yeah, that's the version I got when I ordered it in circa 81, something like that, maybe even 80. So I thought for years that cover was wrong and this was the right cover, but this was the American cover, but then they replaced that cover with this. You get me. This version, the I does have a lyric sheet, which is really cool, which ended up being similar to this as an inner cover for the US version, which I'll show in a minute. But yeah, there's all kinds of bobber going on here with, it says on the back, Bob Catley lead guitar and backing vocals.
Wow.
What the hell's that all about? They did that on Priest as well. They got Bob was wrong. But yeah, good songs that later appear on the live album in the beginning. Kingdom of Madness, Lord of Chaos. It's just a good album. You know, it's very Queeny, very proggy, quite light.
Is Invasion on the EP then, Gav?
Yeah, Invasion
yeah,
on the EP, but I can't
yeah.
that's a live album really. Should have all been put together as an album by now.
Oh, definitely. Invasion should definitely be on Marauder.
Yeah, so that's that. Like I said, there's the American version. There's an error on the back of it. Check your copy if you've got an American one, because they put Keck scoring down as Rec scoring, which is a bit of a laugh. And then the inner cover there's got all the lyrics on it. So that's really cool. And then it got re-released later on when FM Records took the whole catalogue with the Rodney Matthews cover. Got that as a picture disc and as an album. But yeah, this was going back in time because I discovered Magnum around the EP we were talking about in Marauder. So then I went back and ordered this. But I wasn't disappointed. I thought it was great. It's a really good album. What about you guys?
It's good, but it's got 3 standout tracks on it for me, which is the title track, which is just fantastic with the flute beginning, and it's just really superb. Invasion and Lords of Chaos, they're the pullouts for me off this record.
We agree on something completely. What the heck? Okay.
Excellent.
There you go.
Sorry. Yeah, I
That's
agree
cool.
with Lords of Chaos Invasion, but also I did mention that to finish off we talk about records. We're all vinyl record lovers, and all come together as a final song of an album. It ends it beautifully. It's a really good ending to the actual album. Which and for some reason all come together. It just reminds me of the time when the first times when I saw Magnum, it felt it was very Magnum-y sounding song. It reminds me when I listen to it, reminds me of seeing them up and down the country, you know, the different halls that we saw in Dunstable, St Albans. That song resonates, I don't know why, more than any other. But yeah, sorry, just agreeing. Sorry if I butted into you there, Gappy. But yeah,
It's all right, mate.
It's a good record, and they were my highlights too. Well done. You're right on this occasion, Gaps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My copy, Gav, I'd never noticed that Bob Catley says lead guitar. I'd never noticed that till you just said. I'm
mad,
such
isn't it?
But it does also say Colin Lowe, which confuses me. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
is it before
That
Wally?
was his real name.
I know. I love that. I love it when they have real names.
Wally.
Just
Colin.
like when you see a Saxon album, it's got Peter.
There's
Peter
another
Boyford.
one.
There you go.
Another re-release. But then they never correct it. Even on the re-releases, it still says it. Bob Catley lead guitar and backing vocals.
Maybe he was playing some lead guitar on that album. You never know.
Proper weird.
Ask him next time. Okay, good. That's Magnum.
That's Magnum. Oh, what a coincidence. Our namesake, PowerAge. Obviously a leading light of this year. First time we had an English bass player, an Englishman in the band, joined for this album. There's lots of different versions of this. As I'm sure you know, when it originally came out,
It's about 300 if you look on Discogs.
yeah. But I mean, as in track listing, when it originally came out, it didn't have Rock and Roll Damnation, and it did have Cold Hearted Man. And the morph to the re-released version on CD, you got Rock and Roll Damnation, and you've lost Cold Hearted Man. The other thing that's notable about this, apart from every bloody song is brilliant, and most of them are still in the live set. When I don't know if you had the same experience, Dill, but when I got this re-released on Epic version,
Oh, yeah.
it says sourced from the original masters, but there's new tracks on there, new stems. Like there's there's new guitar parts, there's backing vocals.
Yeah.
Most notably on What's Next to the Moon, there's a whole ZZ Top guitar thing going over the top of it.
Really?
Harmony vocals. And the most obvious one is at the end of Down Payment Blues. There's a whole bluesy section. The band come back in and start
that's
playing.
right.
Yeah.
That's
I've heard that
that's
before.
not on this puppy. It just ends with Bomb. So, but yeah, I mean, you guys know all these the classics. Riff Raff, later to appear as on the live album. Sin City, Up to My Neck in You, Kicked in the Teeth, Down Payment Blues, Rock and Roll Damnation. It's just gold from start to finish. That's my my comment on that one. What about you guys?
And you missed off Gone Shooting, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Absolutely love that.
I'll just read out every one. There isn't a week.
Well, you just
There
did.
isn't a week back on this.
Sure,
Actually,
you just
you know.
did.
Cold-hearted man, yeah.
My
probably
version's
cool.
got Cold Hearted Man and Rock and Roll Damnation on. That's
Prove it.
I can.
Yeah, the 70s one, the early 80s ones did, Gav. They had Cold Hearted Man and Rock and Roll Damnation.
Yeah, if you can see that. Yeah,
So you got
This is
10
a-
tracks on that.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. It's an 81 repress, so yeah, it had all of it.
That's cool. No, it's a great opener.
And why wasn't it on there, Dill, to start off with? Can you remember?
Well, they released it as a single separately to the album. So I've got the 7-inch, but also the 12-inch, which is the same as the cover. I don't know what the reasoning was behind leaving it off the album, but of course you got Sin City on the B side.
So it was recorded at the same time.
Didn't they record it after they'd finished the album, though?
Do you know what? I'm not sure, Gaps. They might have done. I don't know if they were part of the same shit. I'm really not sure, actually. I've not read that up.
Okay, mate.
Vivander and Young producing again.
Yeah. That's a German copy. That's Dutch. Interestingly, Kicked in the Teeth again on the B side. Unusual, isn't it? And there's the UK picture version.
Nice.
I'll show you just a couple of the albums I've got, because I've got a few of this.
What you might.
There's an American promo. That's the original. No, that's a more modern one. This one's really cool. It's a New Zealand repress.
Oh,
It's so brilliant in blues.
That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's this is the original UK Porcupine cut. So George Peckham mastering, and it does sound absolutely brilliant. And the final one I'll show you is this one. This is the Canadian one. No hype sticker, sadly, but
Ooh, baby. Nice.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Look, I would say two or three things on this record. Gapped you a right to shout out "Gone Shooting." That was allegedly about his one of his girlfriends, Silver, who was not only good friends with Bon, also Phil Lynott and Ronnie Wood. So you can probably work out what was going on there when you think about the lyric of the song. Down Payment Blues. I mean, he's just a working class hero's masterpiece. It's absolutely brilliant.
The lyrics are so good in that song.
He was just at the absolute top of his game on this record. And to my mind, this is the greatest AC/DC album ever made. It's superb. Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones, it's his favourite album. He also agrees. Gav's got the pictures from the CD there. But it was brilliant. And when they did the tour, actually, they did a couple of tours. They did the PowerAge tour and then If You Want Blood. And interestingly, as part of the If You Want Blood tour, they did their first piece of merch with that as well. So that first piece of T-shirt merch, not their first piece of merch with us, which is quite interesting as well. But yeah, it's a grade A 10 out of 10 album. My favourite album of all time, full stop.
The thing I find interesting with this one, I mean, it's a brilliant album. I love it. It's just the vibe. It's just got such a vibe. And it feels like none of it was rehearsed. It feels like that's them playing in the studio and they're just jamming out those guitar solos. It feels like it's just happening. And with Gone Shooting towards the end, and then it's sort of going on, and then it carries on, and then there's a
it just feels like they're noodling, doesn't it?
It's a fade out. I mean, when is a fade out a good thing? It's when it's occurring naturally, and it's just because it's such a feel to it. And Bond's voice is ridiculous. Could anything like this have ever happened under Lord God Mutt Lange? Clearly no. But things that Mutt Lange brought to the band, it makes it so interesting. It's why AC/DC is such a phenomenon. But this album's amazing. And for me, I love the backing vocals in What's Next to the Moon. It blows me away. But the swing, the groove that Malcolm talks about whenever you look at any clip, you talk about the groove, the swing of AC/DC and the drums and the vibe and what they had and what Malcolm. It's never been more prevalent in my humble opinion than on this record. That groove is so there. It's just a constant, which brings it all together. So yeah, massive record. And yeah, got to agree with Dill. 10 out of 10 on this one.
Not a bad track.
100%.
Absolutely fantastic. And if you've not any kids watching this and have only picked up AC/DC later in their life or only a few years ago, and you go to the obligatory Back in Black, you need to take a step back and get this record because it's 100%.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay, Gav?
Bringing up the rear with the last one it had to go on. I mean, it was breaking the rules, and I apologise to the boys because I had an alternative one in selected for this, which we'll tell you about in a minute.
Haven't we already had a Priest album earlier?
Yeah, but we can't not include it, mate. They went from Stained Class, and in the same year, Killing Machine or Hellbent for Leather for our American cousins.
Yeah.
They're fine-tuning the look. They're fine-tuning the sound. Les Binks is stamping it out once again. We're delivering the goods and the drum solo and Take on the World with a double bass drumming riff. One of my favourites on the album, Burning Up. We've got Running Wild.
Yeah, I love Burning Up. It's a brilliant song.
It's proper groove. And Rock Forever, I really love.
Yeah,
as well.
Rock Forever as well. That's another pick out that I had for it.
So interestingly, they did one track off the last album with James Guthrie, which was the Spooky Tooth, Better By You, Better Than Me, and then the whole of this album was done with him. So they weren't hanging around. They said, "We like the sound of that. Will you do our next album?" Recorded in London, and yeah, just absolute class. I remember at the time my brother had this, so I've subsequently picked it up, which is the translucent red vinyl, which is absolutely brilliant. And then the Era, those three latest records are in this box set here, which is quite collectible and lovely. Yeah. So you got Sin After Sin.
Were they the first coloured albums? 78. Would that have been? Is there anything before that?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't
probably, but I can't think of one.
I don't remember having any in my collection from before 78. And
let us know in the comments.
Yeah. You've got,
that was the first one I came across because my brother had it. But
my first one's from 1980, so I haven't got anything.
But yeah, absolute stormer. I couldn't resist putting it in, even though it breaks our rules. What about you guys?
Yeah, we've all got it, haven't we?
Yeah, we've all got it. Storming out. Starts off with a brilliant track at number one with Delivering the Goods. What a title, Delivering the Goods. Hellbent for Leather, which is amazing. And two Gav's already mentioned, Rock Forever and Burning Up. Absolutely brilliant. Evening Stars is a bit of a weird one, but still pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. But it's a bit less priesty than the rest of it, is what I mean.
It was supposed to be their hit, wasn't it?
Yes. It was released on a clear vinyl, that as well. That's another one, isn't it? That was released on a 12-inch clear vinyl.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. That was completely clear, though. It doesn't even have a label, does it?
Yeah. It's not.
But Green Man Alicia, I do like Before the Dawn. Rob sounds amazing in Before the Dawn.
Green Man Alicia's not on the original, though, is it?
No, it's not. No.
It's on whatever I've got here.
Yes, they added it later.
Which is a great addition.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant song, brilliant version of the
Sorry,
Fleetwood Mac song.
That's what happens. I was listening online to the new. Yeah, it's not.
There you go. Yeah. No, that was only on that 12-inch, that see-through 12-inch, I think.
Luckily, Before the Dawn was, and that is immense.
And then it appeared on the live album.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, big thumbs up for 2, Judas Priest. Now, will that split the vote? That's what we want to know. Will that split the vote, given that there's 2 Priest albums in there? So we'll find out in a few minutes. But let's have a look at the best of the rest first, because there's a bunch of other albums that didn't make it in. There's a couple that I'll call out just really quickly. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. That's a great album. That. Look at him. I mean, how 70s is that? Cool. And then you've got Foreigner as well, Double Vision. So any other thoughts on any of those others, guys?
Yeah, my other one that Priest ended up kicking out was Styx. Still, me and Jam love this. It's probably their best album, and it's Pieces of 8. There's some absolute corkers on there. It's when Tommy Shaw was coming into his own as a songwriter and a singer and a guitarist, and they were great before, and then you get Tommy Shaw. So that was a definitely strong contender. Do you want to say anything about that, Jam, before I move on?
It's got Blue Collar Man, Renegade. It's got some real instantly recognisable, massive songs that
that's good
sticks on the map. But no, yeah, that was it, mate. That foreign album's a good one, and I used to listen to that Gary Moore Back on the Streets quite a bit as well. And then you got UFO. So this some decent.
Yeah, we talked about UFO as well. It's a prime period, but in my opinion, not a prime album.
And mine too.
A couple of great tracks on it, but didn't reach the heights of Force, in my opinion.
No. I'm sure we're going to upset people by leaving Rush out again.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because we weren't into them at the time. You know, into them much more now. But and then Gary Moore, that was obviously got Parisian Walkways on it, and it's got Phil on a couple of songs. So and also Simon Phillips plays on the title track.
And a handful more of Best of the Rest.
There you go. Isn't it interesting that these tend to have crapper album covers?
Awful album covers, terrible album covers.
Well, War of the Worlds is all right.
No, I mean apart from Simon and the others. But War of the Worlds was a selection for me because I grew up with that album. Obviously a classic, but it's Phil Lynot's on it as well, so it deserves to be in a rock collection just because of Phil.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, what's the Best of the Rest? So let's have a look at one last look at the 12 that we've chosen, and there they are. Take a deep breath. So we're going to go over to our resident DJ, our resident compare of the countdown of the chart. Over to you, Jam.
Thank you very much, Dil. So here is the official top 5 killer albums from Tales from the PowerAge, the #1 channel for rock and metal. Don't be put off by the title, as it's all about the rock, but kicking us off at number 5 is Jazz from Queen. Next up, they certainly were delivering the goods. It's Judas Priest with Killing Machine at number 4. Okay, actually, we find ourselves with 2 albums from one band in our top 5. What a year it was for Judas Priest, who have stained class at number 3 in the official killer albums of 1978 from Tales from the PowerAge. Okay, in virtually any other year, this would have been the top of the charts. However, with one of the greatest ever debut albums, Van Halen find themselves at number 2. Which really does show the strength of this final album. It was unanimously voted number 1 by every single one of us. And in turn, the official number 1 killer album for 1978 from Tales from the PowerAge, the #1 channel for rock and metal, it's AC/DC with PowerAge.
Really?
Deal.
That's a shocker, that, isn't it? It's a shock result.
Never in doubt.
Obviously.
Well done, Deal. I love
it. There it is.
Special appearance by Angus.
Nerd.
I don't think anyone can argue about that. What a brilliant album.
Bit of controversy. Bit of controversy.
But look, another stonking year in rock, and it was really setting the scene for us and as we moved towards our teens, which we had a few years to go after that point. But, hugely influential on us in our early years for sure. So some great albums there. So look, I hope you enjoyed that. Tell us what your top 5 is, or what you think your top 5 would have been had it been 1978. And get involved in the comments as well. Tell us your thoughts, and if you were around and you saw any of those bands on those tours as well, we'd love to hear from you, because we love hearing about all of that. Yeah. Now, as Jan's rightfully already mentioned, we're the #1 rock and metal channel in the world right now, so check it out. And he looks so embarrassed, bless him. We love it. So check out our live channel. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff on there. There was a huge show recently where we've got quite a bit of footage from, and thank you to all the new fans. We've got over 3,000 more subscribers, so thank you so much for that. And if you only ever watch this channel, go to the live one and give that a sub too. Conversely, if you're watching this for the first time from the live channel, give this a sub too. So we're on Facebook, Tales from the PowerAge. We're on X, Twitter, pretty much daily, having a chat, talking some nonsense on Tales from the PowerAge at TTFTPR. We're on BLUESKY. We're on Instagram on Tales from the PowerAge. You can buy some merch if you like, so check it out on Spreadshop, on my spreadshop.co.uk. You try and say that off the top. Wow. Hard work. We're also online on www.talesfromthepowerage.com. Now, as Gav said earlier, if you wanted to donate to our ever-depleting beer stocks, then you can by hitting the thanks button, and we'd really appreciate that because we are running low. It's been a hot summer, guys. It's been really hot. So anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. That's our Tales from the PowerAge Killer Albums 1978. Angus, we love it.
Congratulations.
Cheers, guys. See you soon.
Cheers. See you next time.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's like a proper trophy, that, isn't it? It's great. You get
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That mate. That was
like a
really
little
good.
World
Yeah.
Cup.
I wasn't
That was really good.
expecting that. I looked
No, I
up
wasn't
and went,
expecting that. That was really good.